What's good? NBA 2K16 versus NBA Live 16. Another round, and this time it's the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz probably leads the league in players that you may not have heard of, unless, of course, you're a Utah Jazz fan. And this may be one of the first guys, Raul Netto, or Neto. He's from Brazil, and he's actually starting at point guard because you got Dante Exum out and Trey Burke. Disappointing. That was a pretty good render for 2K, but he is not on live at all. Starts, but he ain't on live. Rodney Hood cannot believe that. Look at, he's what? Raul ain't on the game. What? Raul is not on it. He ain't on live, brother. This is a good render for Rodney Hood. And it is better than the live render. Live, the cheekbones is not right, and the complexion, I think, is a little bit off. Just overall, I mean, you can just take a look at this pretty easily. I mean, it's not like this is terrible or anything like that, but you can pretty much see without a problem that Rodney Hood is better on 2K. So Utah, 2K's out to a 2-0 lead with Utah, and we're coming off two strong efforts from live with the Hornets and Heat. Let's move on to this man, Gordon Hayward, recently in the news because he is an esports fan, and he plays the titles that are popular in esports, Hearthstone, Counter-Strike, and StarCraft 2, and Dota. And Colin Cowherd made a silly comment about gamers and whatever, dude. But that 2K one was 2K render was pretty good, right? I think the skin tone is better on 2K, but the overall facial features is better on live. So I'm gonna give live the slight edge here, and talking a little bit about the esports thing was we got Derek Favors up here, and he is blowing his neck because he must don't like esports. But I respect those guys, definitely, the competitive gamers, but I am pining for seeing esports really take off with some actual sports video games, with the Maddens, the 2Ks, those games. That Derek Favors for 2K was good, but who in the devil is this Derek Favors here? What? This is not, he's too good of a player to have a render that just look this crazy. I mean, it ain't the worst thing ever, but it certainly is not good, especially compared to 2K's. This Derek, do me a favor, Derek. Tell the people at Live, EA Sports, that they did not do your render right. Do that. Do that for me. So, to me, this makes it 3-1 2K because this is pretty clear. I mean, now we're going to Rudy Gobert. Don't go clothed, Gobert. And, yeah. And I don't know what he's doing. Like he's humming a ditty. I don't know. The skin tone might be a little bit off, but overall, this is really good. Like he's about to headbutt Derek Favors dead in the face. Said, look, they didn't give you a good render at all, did they? Gave me a good one. Well, 2K gave you a good render, it's whatever. The eyebrows, they tripped out. This dude is, I think he's going to lead the league in block shots in the next 2 to 3 years. Not overall, but now what? Live's Rudy Gobert looked like a mutation of Rudy Gobert. Like Rudy Gobert, somebody left him close to the radiator, and he started melting down. That's what is going on here. See, I was with him. I was riding with Live for a minute. Last two teams, they was doing their thing, but Utah, we done come up out that South, and Utah is not a good team for Live at all. They didn't send nobody, no cameras up there, none. Trey Burke, face a little fat, face a little tad fat, but outside of that, very, very good, extremely good render. But yeah, probably a little less bulk because he's a little muscle bound Trey here. Now this Trey Burke is like not terrible, but I don't think it's good though. I don't think it's quite as good as Lives. I mean, it's 2Ks, but it's pretty good. We getting to the point where we don't even need to keep scoring no more because 2K is running off with this. Alec Burks. I don't know what is with the eyebrow jump off there. He got, I mean, I guess I kind of see what they're doing, but I think they overdid it. He like a Klingon or something with the way they got his forehead. And that button, and he said, and look at the lining on the back of his neck though. His lining is serious. He's sad about that and the Klingon thing. But he's even more sad that they just got this dude here and said, this gonna be you on live. Who in the world is that brother right there? That is not no Alec Burks. That is not. I mean, okay, we gotta go to the family thing, right? This is somebody's neighbor, man. This is not him. It ain't even in the family. Trevor Booker. Trevor Booker. That's a hustling name, ain't it? Trevor Booker. This is a good render though. They do real good there. The facial, the skin color's not as great. Skin color's really good on live, but I think the shape of the head is a little off. But I don't know. This one's close because this was good. This is good, and like facially, I think it might look a little bit more like him. I'm gonna give that one to live. I'm gonna get that to live. Joe Ingles. First and foremost, he looked like he ain't even in the land of the living on 2K. Why is this his eyes black like a zombie? And his, oh my God. Now I understand he's a pale bro. I understand. But this lives actually looks really looks better to me. The facial features are better. They did go a little real super Seamus with the skin color, but I still think that this one's better. So just when I was about ready to bury live in regards to the Utah Jazz renders, they didn't come on and get hot. Can they stay hot after Joe Ingles? We moving on to, okay, Trey Lyles look like he ain't got no teeth in his mouth right now, and he's sucking his gums or something. But this, and he's a little fat. Why everybody they making everybody fat? And these, but the last ones are not, this is the chubby versions of everybody. But this is still a good render, and it's especially good when you compare it to NBA Live's little alien baldhead man. That is supposed to be Trey Lyles, and I don't know what this man's head like a shaved light bulb on here, and then this is a light bulb with stubble, and that's what he's got it. And this ain't good, cause the boy don't look nothing like that. I guess it's a fairly good try based off what they had been doing, but that ain't good. Here we got Elijah Millsap. That's a pastor's name. Reverend Elijah Millsap. And you can't tell me you either know somebody that's a pastor's name that, or you gonna know somebody in the future, because that's exactly what that is. Reverend Elijah Millsap. Now here's Live's version of Elijah Millsap. Now funny, they wouldn't get that same placeholder guy, but you fool around and you use him enough, he gonna fool around and look like the dude you're using. And this one, he actually somewhat looked like him, but still we gotta give it to 2K, and they starting to run back off with it again. Dante Exum is hurt, and I guess because he hurt, that means he can't get no lining in the back of his head. I don't know what that means, but this is a good render, and he's yelling about it. He got to yell about something because he can't play yet, but this is a good render. I like it. He could be a little bit browner though, because he's kind of pale, a little taste pale, but outside of that, you know what? If you wanted to try to make Kobe on the game, you need to structure his face like Dante Exum. And here on live, the skin color is more appropriate, and everything else is just as good. So I would have to give live the love on this one. Still not enough to catch up to 2K, but they are at least making this respectable. Christopher Johnson, this is good. This is good. Face might be a little bit too wide, and maybe he's The skin color, a little bit off. But Christopher Johnson, I'm going to tell you, you better be really good if your name is Christopher Johnson, because ain't nobody going to remember that, because everybody in the world name is Christopher Johnson. It's like it don't. You need to have 35 points a game if you want to be known and your name is Christopher Johnson, because everybody going to think you just Christopher Johnson that they knew in third grade, because everybody knew a Christopher Johnson in third grade at some point. I'm sure you did. Now, let's look at the live version of this guy. Okay. Kind of look like Raja Bell and Rodney Stuckey, they little brother or something. I don't know. But it's not quite as good as 2K's. But it is decent. I don't know. I don't know if the roster update helped or what. But live, a little spry. Tabor Place is not on live. So this is a bummer. And also a bummer is what in the world's wrong with his ears. His ears look like a seashell on here, and that is not how his ears look. They struggling with the ears. Now we got Jeff Withey. Neck should be a little longer. Should have slightly more pronounced facial hair. And again, the hair color is off. They are struggling in a major way with hair color, but the brow and everything is protruding as it's supposed to be. Eyes set far back in his head as it's supposed to be. So this is a good 2K render, but let's take a look at the last one, which is Jeff Withey with the NBA Live. The more appropriate hairstyle, the more appropriate hair color, more appropriate facial hair, shadows and such, and then that brow is popping off like they needed to pop off. I think that Jeff Withey for NBA Live is actually better. Like I said, it was close, but I still have to give 2K the edge for Utah Jazz. But it's not a lot of blowouts as it was early on. So this is getting interesting. And like I said, I do appreciate you guys watching. God bless. Peace.